If you saw the news yesterday, you know that Jagmeet Singh has announced that if there is a minority government and if the NDP holds the balance of power in that minority, he will not use that balance of power to support Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives. And he says this in light of recent news confirming, some really troubling remarks by Andrew Scheer on, the rights of gay Canadians and lesbian Canadians. As I noted in my video yesterday, Andrew Scheer made some pretty troubling remarks, and those remarks, haven't really been rebuked by him. And unlike some people, he's never really evolved from that position. And so I think Singh is quite reasonable to say he will not support him in a minority. Now, there are some issues here. This does potentially remove a bargaining chip for the NDP. I don't think people seriously thought that Singh would ever back Andrew Scheer and his Conservatives, but if there is a minority government, Justin Trudeau now knows that Jagmeet Singh can't be, he's not going to go to Andrew Scheer, and therefore maybe will give less to the NDP. That is a potential risk. But on the other hand, I think it's crucially important that people know the NDP will not stand with a party that stands against the fundamental rights of LGBTQ Canadians. And for all the Liberals' problems, they are slightly better on the issue than the Conservatives. So, Singh is keeping the door open to cooperate with other parties, but not with Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives. Now, another factor here that needs to be noted is that the Liberals aren't perfect on this issue either. I didn't really touch on this in the last video, but a lot of Liberals are calling out Andrew Scheer and the Conservatives for their positions on LGBTQ rights, but it should be remembered that many current Liberal MPs voted the same way Andrew Scheer did in 2005, and some of them have said they have, evolved on the issue. But the Liberal Party has historic roots that are problematic on LGBTQ rights, where the NDP has far less of that. The NDP, while not unanimous on the issue, has had for longer a more solid position in favor of the rights of LGBTQ Canadians, and I think that's important to note. Another key factor here, and this touches on a video I made a little bit ago, is that Elizabeth May has not taken the same position of Jagmeet Singh. Elizabeth May and the Green Party have said that they are willing to compromise with anyone and on anything except the climate. So they've said they'll work with Andrew Scheer, for instance, if it means he will give on the climate. It means that, if he supports a carbon tax and maybe other forms of environmentally friendly policy, the Greens would prop them up in a minority situation. But what that's saying, in effect, is the Green Party would sacrifice the rights of workers and LGBTQ Canadians and, certain racialized groups that are targeted in cases of migration. On any of these cases, they would give everything up for an Andrew Scheer government for just a little bit of climate change. And the NDP has some issues that are very important to them. But the NDP hasn't said, look, we'll prop up Andrew Scheer for electoral reform, or we'll prop up Andrew Scheer for a Green New Deal, or we'll prop up Andrew Scheer for, dental care or pharmacare. They said, no, we won't prop him up at all. So Canadians of a progressive mindset can know that we want a minority government because it keeps both the Liberals and Conservatives from, being unaccountable to voters. But we want to make sure that minority is headed up by the NDP holding the balance of power, because they will not give any of that power to the Conservative Party. Certainly not, while the Green Party just might. And I think this is all very important to note. Jagmeet Singh is a champion of human rights, he's a champion of social programs, he's a champion of equality, and Andrew Scheer is none of those things. So it's very important that Canadians realize that if you want a true challenger to Andrew Scheer, it's not Justin Trudeau, who's voted with Andrew Scheer on tons of policies. It's actually Jagmeet Singh. He'll be the one more than anybody else to keep Scheer at bay. Whether it's in a minority parliament or whether you make Singh prime minister, he will not cooperate with Andrew Scheer like Justin Trudeau has and Elizabeth May will. And just to top it all off, I have to talk about this. I don't know if you guys saw the meme, but to me it's one of the funniest things I've seen in Canadian politics in the last couple months at least. Many Canadians have been getting text messages from Sarah from the Conservative Party. Millions of us have gotten them, seemingly. If you haven't, you're lucky. And she asks you, this is Sarah from the Conservatives. Are you going to support us in the upcoming election? And lots of people have said, well, of course not. I'm not a Conservative supporter. Or how did you get this number? Or please leave me alone. And on and on and on. So Jagmeet had it on his phone, and he said, Sarah, still no. Basically saying, Sarah, I'm not going to support the Conservatives, either as a voter or as a member of the House of Commons or as a leader of a party that might hold the balance of power. And I think that in a humorous way, Jagmeet is really letting Canadians know where he stands. And he stands with the basic human dignities and needs of all Canadians and against hatred and discrimination.